So we're here in Florida on our property. It's definitely hot. It must already be 90 degrees here. And it's time to get to work. So everything arrived safe and calm, and trailer made it intact. Kubota made it intact. I didn't, you know, I caught like a cold, you can hear. So I'm gonna keep the talking to a minimum, and I'm gonna get to work. So after our 4,000 mile trip down the Alcan, the Alaska-Canadian Highway, we finally made it to our property in north central Florida. Here we're heading down the driveway, just getting ready to do a little work. We have to clear the right-of-way here to put in our driveway. So we're heading down the driveway now, and at the end here there's a bunch of trees we have to clear, and of course weaved in between the trees there's old fencing, barbed wire, and fence posts. So that's the first thing I'm going to head down and clear up, is get a bunch of the old fencing out of the way. And we got some really good friends that came down with us, and they're going to help me cut down the trees. So after we get the trees cut down, we got a bunch of stumps we're going to dig out, and in a later video you'll see Mandy get in on the action. She gets in digging those stumps right out with the backhoe. Works out really well. So it's going to be hard to see through here, but all through this area there's a bunch of barbed wire mixed into the forest, and then there's some old fencing sitting right here. And of course that's going to make it really hard to cut these trees down. So first things first, get the Kubota in there and rip it right out. With all this brush clearing and moving the wire, I found the forks were a great way to move all of that. I don't have a grapple on the front. I did use my backhoe a few times to help pull up some stuff, but the forks seem to do well with grabbing everything. After I got rid of that first old fencing, I kept getting fights with barbed wire over by the front of the driveway. There was a whole lot of it to clear out there. It had been sitting there for quite a while, embedded into the trees, grown into them too. After we got most of the wire out of the way, it was time to really start moving the brush out of the way and getting the big logs and stumps moved out. So here we're working on getting all the brush piled up into a corner away from the driveway area. A quick little story. As soon as we got to the property, I parked the trailer and we went ahead and hopped out and got ready to unload the trailer. No sooner did I walk over by the trailer than a little black snake crawled out from under and wiggled right in front of me. And I'm not ashamed to admit, I let out a man-sized squeak real quick, because we don't have any snakes in Alaska. So within the first like 10 seconds on our property, seeing a snake, it gave me a little squeak. I jumped right up onto the deck of the trailer, and the snake went about on his way, and I was glad he did. Unfortunately, I didn't have any cameras rolling at the time to catch that one. That probably would have been better than the time my bucket fell off. this old oak limb that I'm lifting up right here, this thing was really heavy. I could feel it when I lifted it up on the loader on the forks there. And I don't know how much it weighed, maybe 800 pounds or so, but we're not used to having tree limbs that size in Alaska. It was huge, so I carried it on over to the burn pit to get it out of the way of the driveway. Well, thanks for watching from our 40 acres here in Florida. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you on the next one.